King Boom.
The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what you are. We started propagating. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what you are. We started propagating. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what you are. We started propagating. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what you are. We started propagating.
Dirty Moors still attempt to infiltrate the order. Active Moors are truth and take it to the corners. Across highways, past hedges and through borders. Move on dirty Moors like broken down waters. Watch out for agents and provocateurs trying to get next to their heads with the doctor's cures. They never pay dues and don't pay dues, contradicting with King Alfred to give clues like blues. Noble Drew Ali died from Palemore blues. Prophet saved him his money before the floor fell through, and that's true. Even though I don't have proof, still a memory tells me don't fall for spooks. Drop mental nukes, hanging from their own vine from the fig tree, looking up at them like baby. No white flag or mercy for you fags. 5-point and pentagram is on our flag. Green, but not for cream. That dirty ones took to throw off the balance of the Grand Treasury books, getting offers like high school ballers. Those that infiltrate are not Moors but robbers, robbing the people blind, deaf, dumb, and crippled. They can't tear this up, not one drop or trickle. No matter how hard they try to perpetrate the fraud, dirty Moors always fall on their sword.
The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what you are. We started propagating. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what you are. We started propagating. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what you are. We started propagating. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what you are. We started propagating.
Me not play with them so simmer and easy. From 19 how long me see it sleazy. So sick it's measly and disgusting. Everyone stood there. The Moors did nothing when Drew was attacked. They took the covenant that they will protect them and have his back. Behind on dues by 4 months. Going to kangaroo courts to perform stunts. Temples versus temples. Lawsuits from inner fight. Not doing their job. 3,500 for birthright. Mufti Force left supposed to be in Gucci stores. We gotta thank Allah for the Sufi Moors and Buddhist Nagas. Moorish mic renaissance, not rap sagas. Confusion clearer, MC battle star wearer. Moorish nationality declarer. Straighten out the crooked ways, rap conduct squarer.
The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what you are. We started propagating. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what you are. We started propagating. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what you are. We started propagating. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what you are. We started propagating.
Let me strip them down, I'm the bone bearer. Negro, black, colored, minority, death preparer. Not the being, but the label attached. See me like Martin, going crazy, waving gas. Cause you call yourself black, that's a kick me sign on your life. Can't stab your enemy holding the blade of the knife. Numbskull MC's flow so dull that I'm pulling down Orishas like skull caps to torture the rapper, scissor sippers. Rapper CD scratcher, insert ripper. Call me Jack and get slapped though. Admiral when I flow, major like macro. Don't spit on a cameraman like Pac will, but beat the case like Black Bill, but no lawyer. Ask Jim Carrey, liars do nothing for you while they get rich and poor you. Make you follow magistrate orders that get the coke to snort from hood corners and block ghetto. All I see is rappers, dress codes, repedo, tight shirts, skinny jeans looking like heavy metal bands. I'm not babe but L like Gred and Hands. I grab mics, no sweat in hands. With birthright brands, I don't worry about getting scanned.
The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what you are. We started propagating. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what you are. We started propagating. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what you are. We started propagating. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what you are. We started propagating.
What up?
You're listening to Circle 7 Music.
Everyone wanna just rap nowadays. No content, just crap nowadays. Piercing the lips with tats on their face. cross on foreheads with a push gauge. Marley's kills more brain cells. Street doors revolve, makes you stay in cells. No service hours, you do it that time in a cellar with a fellow with parking fines. What's the world coming to? Not to an end, but an end for those that can't comprehend. Those that can't think or use faculties with no nationality with these casualties. King out with plans, victims take care like the Jews under Hitler, but vapor. No ashes calling the masses. No suit, no wake, no funeral, no casket. Beat cops with masks, riot, yeah, tell. 84 prophecy of George Orwell. We're living on an animal farm, can't you see it's blatant? Zombies are doctor's patients. True shot takers high off a vaccine. So high thinking liquor is Listerine. Then doing dumb shit, mindset walk like wet wood. No cause around, but they rep hoods. Rep big gas, but babies get clapped. Not the ones sinning, giving back claps. Not reconstructors changing maps. Or fake governments imposing acts. Or the ones selling horse meat and snacks. In black, it's only darkness, light lacks. Third eye blind, sight lacks. Watch it crash when the empire strikes back.
What's wrong with this world? Many follow down the wrong trail, but all is well. What's wrong with this world? This must be one of the hells that we are serving our fails. What's wrong with this world? Many follow down the wrong trail, but all is well. What's wrong with this world? This must be one of the hells that we are serving ourselves.
Eternal inflation, the cause of mind devastation. Hear what I'm saying? The problem is based in creating life imitation. Only for those that overstand. Let us observe the ancients of Egypt. Walk lightly, going forward with this book. Symmetry declares our O2 in air. ET's position, 3 triangles there. Word escape airs, all good already there. A kind man of overstanding is what I share. Let iron cheeks speak truth from what he teach. Frequency and range blast out to mouthpeak. I left the block physical and now telepathy. On wisdom, life a game of chess till we free. Life is essence, calculate with care. What's wrong with this world? Survive it if you dare.
What's wrong with this world? Many follow down the wrong trail, but all is well. What's wrong with this world? This must be one of the hells that we are serving ourselves. What's wrong with this world? Many follow down the wrong trail, but all is well. What's wrong with this world? This must be one of the hells that we are serving ourselves.
Minds lost or gone, don't know where it is. Used to act like animals for being called kids. Guns to the time said they're shooting off lids, so with heavy metal more louder than Skid Row. Jeans and pants tight with swag like Cisco. Luck Punani bad, but where dicks go, get them signed to labels that extort innocence from those innocents and bought views and abuse. Rap game is church, executive play with balls like Nerf. Stimulating bass chakras, hot like the turf. Soul selling out, not knowing what it's worth. Rich rappers pass, they clutching their purse. Youth livestock nowadays in a hearse. Thinks like some movie, this ain't Skyfall. Faces were bad, now they tackle eyeballs. Everybody's piercing, straight of faces. Unconscious more, stop claiming races. Claim a place, don't claim a state. Those are plantations, no frame or base. Disgrace and wonder why we are disgraced. Asking why am I part of this race? That I never win. See, we never won. We fight each other using their guns. But when they fight, they're using our sons. In wars, never near, always far ones. We'll learn. Just need to get scarred once. From ear to chin, stay out the bin. Stay off the corner, learn the hard way. Real killers don't cross over like Hardaway. Stay off the corner, learn the hard way. Real killers don't cross over like Hardaway.
What's wrong with this world? Many follow down the wrong trail, but all is well. What's wrong with this world? This must be one of the hells that we are serving ourselves. What's wrong with this world? Many follow down the wrong trail, but all is well. What's wrong with this world? This must be one of the hells that we are serving ourselves. What's wrong with this world? Many follow down the wrong trail, but all is well. What's wrong with this world? This must be one of the hells that we are serving ourselves. What's wrong with this world? Many follow down the wrong trail, but all is well. What's wrong with this world? This must be one of the hells that we are serving ourselves.
Dreamy and drooling, falling for the fooling. Mental slaves sell out or get bought out for cooning. Being your example to follow with no strain. Met means mind, so govern and entertain is more than you imagine. Carbon is melanin, Koran and Bible angels are cherubim and seraphim. Riding on the light angles, traveling at warp speed. We created cross reads, now we can't walk free. The mind is the plantation, everything is mental. Even filling your brother with lead like a pencil. Mercenaries with chalk, use bodies as a stencil. If rival gangs won't stop you, barbed wire fence will. It could take more, but it might take less. Cursing your guard on Job's cash in the fake checks. Spending fake monopoly money, counterfeit at best. When you see something is wrong, you need to counter it best as you can. You don't need a magic wand or to click your heels twice to escape dreamland. Just use your mind. If you can't relate, you're living in an illusion. Slave to the dream dream state. You just heard about Drew Ali, don't think he's late. He brought nationality and link back to your East state. As Negro and black, we act like we can't see straight. Shake them by the shoulders, wake them from their dream state. If you just heard about Drew Ali, don't think he's late. He brought nationality and link back to your East state. As Negro and black, we act like we can't see straight. Shake them by their shoulders, wake them from their dream state. Invasion. Drew Ali, my water when the fire starts blazing. Running with the holy buckets, the Caucasian. While Asiatics daydreaming, mental stargazing. Not paying attention, but paying taxes and fines. Now said the world is yours, he really meant mine. If I ruled the world, you wouldn't want to be black. You wouldn't want to be a deadbeat dad or be whack for sure. You wouldn't want to be the dirty moral leader, convicted and facing my firing squad either. You won't be put in a box, forget the cedar. Taking tires off cars at unexpired meters. If I ruled the world, dirty Moors would hate it. Find them with their wrists slit and bathrooms naked. Find them holding scimitar handles slumped over with suicide notes to Jehovah. If you just heard about Drew Ali, don't think he's late.
If you just heard about Drew Ali, don't think he's late. Don't even dare think that he's late and you're on time. Don't even dare disrespect the founder of Islam in America. For all you dum-dums, don't even dare disrespect him and think you're just going to put out some stuff and think that, oh yeah, because Moorish Science Temple are some religious Moors, they're just going to do nothing while we talk BS about their culture. This is not doctrine. This is not some pick this up yesterday. This is birthright. This is not some club you join because you have a card for this or some papers. You join some. I don't know about all these other so-called groups out here, but I would love to see you. The same way that you're talking BS about Moorish history, go talk that to some Chinese about Chinese history. I dare you. Go talk to some Italians about Italian history. I dare you. Go talk to some Germans. Go talk to them. This is their stuff. Hold their holy book up. Take their prophet and do whatever you want with him. I dare you. And I bet, just like the punks that these people are, people who classify themselves Negro, black, colored, conscious, futurist, whatever, never, ever, 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 ever did nothing to a highwayman ever. Highwayman killing people left, right, and center, and all these black guys just sitting there doing nothing. Nothing. They're not even writing a writ. At least Moors are writing writs. I know Moors personally that have corporations on lawsuits right now for violating them. So don't tell me Moors aren't doing anything out here to try it or whatever. Moors are doing way more than what these clowns are doing. Because again, when you check, who are these people? Like, who are these people? Listen, man. Like, I came up with like hip hop decoded. Came up on that. We came up on First World Order and Dark Skull. We didn't come up on the BS that you guys came up on. We came up on Phil Valentine L.
that there's stuff he dropped that's going on right now. Don't forget, he's L. We came up under Booker T. Coleman. Said, forget that Booker T. Coleman BS. Kaba Hiawatha Kamene. You know, Hiawatha, some indigenous stuff over here. You're not no Africans. Come up on, you want to talk about occult? We come up when Panic was with Rudra and those Moors. And those Moors were going in on some occult. What Aleister Crowley? What? Madame Blavatsky, who? We'll talk to Panic. Panic knows. He knows. Obashango L, before the locks. What are you guys talking about? Do you know who we come up under? We don't come up under these bit-bat people that you people say are somebody because they got some views. We don't do views. We do content. And for a man with the brilliance of Noble Drew Ali, before all these people who we came up under, to put things on the record, just to prove the point, that there's a higher and there's a lower. You do whatever you want because this is your birthright. But don't think that you can straddle the fence. As soon as you show your side, know that we already know what you're about. As soon as you make your move, we already know. It's not even anything to question because we already know. The schemes can't work. But like I tell people all the time, I do not do this for verses. Because I can't just go out and lynch some of these people, I'll just write a track about it. Because I just can't go out and just do everybody in. Because we already know what's up. It ain't no secret what's going on, what's wrong. Everybody else around us prospers and only us suffering, and you don't know what the problem is? Okay, fine. We're just going to take out the garbage. Make sure you see the mound of dirty Moors to know. Don't be like those guys. Do not see the mound of dirty Moors and then think that's a position. Right? And trust me, we're not even talking about seeing far. We're talking right now. For Drew Ali's time, seeing now, that was seeing far. We're looking back in time. But time never was when man was not. So when we trace the time, and we realize that people have been sent to divert you from what it is that Noble Drew Ali brought. you would realize what the problem is with our people. Until you know, you always want to rationalize it because those are your brothers. Why would my brothers do that? Why would my sisters do that? Forget that BS. People sold out our people. It's just real clear and simple. It's nothing advanced. You want to make it advanced? Go right ahead. But I know that that's a bookshelf right there. You're talking about fridges and all of that. It's irrelevant. So know that these are dartboards. These are piñatas. These are mares of steel. These are torture devices that we can't put these people on. So we'll use the information as the torture device on these dirty people to get them out of here. Right? Because it's all about love, you know, so we're not here to hurt anybody. Make sure you go pick up your Art of Peace book by the Moor. You'll know which one it is. Art of Peace by the Moor. So don't be a piñata. Don't be standing nearby when Hulk smash and get Hulk smash and then you're mad that you got Hulk smash. Because, you know, you want to say, well, you know, we got to let those guys do their thing because those are the new guys coming up with the, what do you mean? They got green teeth and skinny jeans and stuff like that. What do you mean they're the new what? For who to follow? Whose children's following them? I bet you. Let's put up, let's take some consideration to this. Let's get any more Pharaoh's age, right? Any more Pharaoh's age or younger. If you think you can prove Pharaoh wrong, being that you're younger than him and you're a Moor, and these people talking BS about your holy Quran, your prophet, your birthright, your Allah, then email canaanlandguide@gmail.com. Send your rebuttal to anything that these clowns are talking about your birthright. Yo, you remember, you have to be younger than whatever age those guys are. And send that in to canaanlandguide@gmail.com. CANAANLANDGUIDE. And then if you're on your square, we'll upload your stuff to our channel so you can shut down these people talking BS. You don't have to show your face. You could just be audio. Doesn't matter. Just make sure it's MP3 or MP4 so we can upload it. And you prove these agents wrong. We're talking to Moors. We're talking to Moors who are these people's age or younger. Because we're from the old school. We just go pick a switch and bust your ass. That's just what it is. And then we'll pass you down the line for everybody to bust your ass. Right? And that's not some Greek fraternity paddle slapping the ass BS. That's Aboriginal indigenous culture called discipline to talk out of your place. You're mannish. You're mannish. So you need some head back slaps right now because you have to slow down. You need the good head back slaps. You need the ears turn. You guys never got the ears turned, so you don't know. But we're gonna give you the ears turn tonight. Because you say that you're young. So because you're young, you're going to get the lip twists. All the ones that you guys never got. Because you're brought up in the technological age and you're the millennium children and all that BS. Forget all that BS. Right? Don't even you're the most whoever and whatever, but you know, pimples mean you're dirty inside. Pimples mean you're dirty inside. So you're lecturing about you're the greatest whatever, but so what are you talking for? Shouldn't you go fix your stuff? That's like the guy who have the cold sore and he's gonna do the lecture about the whatever. He has big cold sore on his mouth. How are you gonna do a lecture when you have a cold sore on your mouth? You stupid? You're just a dum-dum. Super dumbs. All these super dumbs that people are following around here. And these people have the nerve to put Moorish, Holy Koran, Noble Juali, anything like that related in their speech, in their little videos. And then again, you know that it's a slander campaign because these individuals don't even put Moors in the title of the video. They don't even put Moors. But then when you go on the video, all they're doing is talking about Moors. People didn't even pass puberty yet. They still have the girl voice. They're talking BS. You still have the girl voice. What do you mean? You didn't even pass puberty yet. Think you got a little hair on your chin and you got sideburns? That means you're a man or whatever? Oh, you got a girl pregnant, so you're a man. Oh, yeah. Really? You have no morals? Look, Seti. Look polite. Look, Sonetter. Look, that's what you guys breeded. Young Pharaoh. Look at him. That's what you guys breeded. Don't get mad now because you guys breeded him. Like I said, we'll bring any Moorish American Muslim, his age or younger, and you check their track record and his, trust me, you don't want to mess with them. You're not even going to say nothing about them, bring them up or anything like that because you're not even going to find nothing on them. Why? Because they were brought up as Moorish American Muslims. They weren't brought up as niggers that think they know something because they read some books and watched some videos. Matter of fact, we'll say even from teenager to preteen, that's Moorish American. If you got something to say, just to stress the point that you know about your nationality and your birthrights and you're not black and all that, send in a video, send in anything. And we'll upload your stuff once you're on your square. Trust me, and it's kicking off in a new year and people, oh yeah, 2008, these guys are done, right? 2008, we're done is what they say, right? 2008, RV Bay, all them people, they're over. Guess what, jackass? It's not even 2000 yet. What calendar are you guys on? Hey, jackass, what calendar are you guys on? You know where? Do you know where 2018 is from now on the calendar? So if we're not over until then, the ritual that you really put in the ethers, that you can't even stop this. You jackasses did that. So thank you for putting it on the record. 2018, RV Bay, Taj Creek Bay, Great Seal, all that stuff is over. It's over. Because it's 2018 that's going to be over. Excellent. Excellent. Right? You're dissing Moors, but you're using Gregorian calendar. How are you using Gregorian calendar? And talking about Moors are some sellouts. You're using Gregorian calendar. That's why you play yourself. You're 580 years ahead of yourself. Do you know how dumb you are? You're so dumb. And again, it's all about the wind-up head back slaps. The wind-up ones. The wooden spoon ones. The ones that you guys never got because you escaped. You millennium spoiled brats, you. You brats that got everything. Didn't have to work for anything. $500 shoes, get it. $800 phone, get it. How the hell you get that? You didn't do nothing. You didn't even do the dishes last night. Islam to all the Moors. Let's get to some information. Enough head back slaps. I think he's bleeding. Sorry about that. That one was too hard. Sorry. I shouldn't have used the electrical cord. I shouldn't have used the electrical cord. I'm sorry. That was my bad. I shouldn't have threw the shoe. Okay? My bad. So people want to talk BS about the Holy Koran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, divinely prepared by the noble prophet Juali, by the guiding of his father God Allah, the great God of the universe, to redeem man from his sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest plane of life with his father God Allah. Now, if anybody has a problem with those words, you're a dummy. You're super dumb, and fine, you know, if that's how you want to think, fine. I mean, we can't do nothing about that because you just want to think like a clown. So go right ahead, think like a clown, and we'll continue just putting out this information so our people could know about their nationality and birthrights, which is really what is lacking in our community. They have everything else. All they don't have is their nationality and birthrights. So we'll go to the stuff. Oh yeah, parental advisory, because this is who Seti and all these people brought up, right? This is their Frankenstein that they don't want to deal with. Now they're running because Frankenstein is going nuts in the lab. Frankenstein going nuts in the lab, and all the Frankenstein creators are backing up. They're playing the background. They're not up front no more. They have better things to do, right? So just remember who made him. Remember who we were brought up under. He's not our creation. We never brought up this. We don't even know what the hell this alien is, right? We don't know. When I look behind me and I see Moors, they're Moorish American Muslims, and they know about their nationality and birthrights, and they're not incompetent. They'll make me say, oh shit, yeah, pretty good one. Not these ones. These ones are the ones that we're trying to let the ones coming up know. Don't let anything fool you. Don't let angst fool you. Don't let eyes of Heru fool you. None of that. Don't let locks fool you. Don't let any of that fool you. Be wary of flower earring people, especially men with 2 earrings, but it's flowers, not hoops or whatever. You go check the record. You don't gotta see no ancient anybody's that are male with earrings that aren't hoops, right? Because of course the circle, and it's a science. It's not some, you know what I mean? It's a science. But some people take the science and they pervert it for their own lower self-gratification. And again, they would only do that because they're young, because they're a minority, because they're incompetent, and they don't really understand the power that they wield. Because all this huffing and puffing that you're going to hear is against his own birthright. Now think in context. Think about someone who's from Asia talking against being Asian. Think about someone who's Aborigine of Australia saying they're not that and finding every reason in the world not to be that, which they are. Yeah, it's kind of weird. But yeah, like the like the Muslim son said, we're going to put the youngsters back in their high chair and strap them in this time. Because you should have known that they know how to get out of the stuff. You should have known the crib was too low. Like, look how big he is. What do you mean, why did he go get the stuff out of the crib? Because maybe he's too big for the crib. Stop buying new microphones and all that stuff and raise up the young gods coming up behind you better. Just got them jumping out the crib. And then complaining that he's running amok in the house. Oh my gosh, leave that. Don't touch that. Oh my gosh, you're supposed to, why aren't you? And if you just strap his ass in the first place, we wouldn't be having no problems right now. But nah, you guys let Frankenstein just run all over the place. And now, after the hype died down, Frankenstein's bored now. Well, Frankenstein's just gonna do Frankenstein. Because the doctors of the lab left their posts. Left their posts. These guys. Sorry. That was the electric cord again. I didn't mean that one. That one slipped.
The president in a tweet on Twitter and talk shit, you best believe I'm talking shit about your religion. And if you don't like it, get the fuck off my page. That's all I can tell you at this point, because it's not going to stop. I'm going to continue to go higher until I crack every doctrine, until every doctrine is gone. Because this is not about you. This is about the people. And this is about the youth. And I don't never want the youth to feel like you got to lay down for nobody. Fuck that. Because niggas ain't laying down for you. Huh? Niggas ain't laying down for you. Niggas ain't laying down for you, so we not laying down for niggas. Straight up. If your shit is bullshit, best believe when I catch wind of it, nigga, we eating it. We eating it. Huh? And like I said, the Moors is next. See, I got your shit. I got your shit, Moors.
Again, we're more scientists. He even probably paid for that. It's his birthright. You know, want to buy a book? Go right ahead. Remember, Australian saying, look at this book here, the Australians. These guys, we're going to crush these guys. We're going to demolish their religion. We're going to use their book and demolish their religion. These Australians. And imagine it's an Australian talking. How would you look at that guy? Would you look at that guy like he's competent? Or would you look at that guy like he's a dum-dum? Super dumb. It's probably super dumb, right? Yeah.
I got your shit. See? This is the reprint of the original. What? 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 Say something. Say something. I open this.
I'll put my hand up. Can I say something? My hand's up. Teacher, pick me. Back here. I want to say something. Okay. Thank you for acknowledging me, teacher. Let me tell you the story about the reprint of the original, since people want to talk BS. So, one day, I get the call. Mario, stop playing. One day, I get a call from Brother Tallahassee LB. Brother Tallahassee LB. And Brother Tallahassee tells me that there's a Quran on eBay for like $8, but he thinks it might be original. Let me check it out or whatever. Like, what? What do you mean original? Well, the way it looks, it has to be original, right? So I go on there, bam, see the Quran, contact the people on there, you know what I mean? They're like, yeah, it's official. It belonged to their uncle who was in the temple. And this Quran just got passed down from when the Quran came out. It just got passed down. And then this individual had it. They're not, you know, on the info or nothing. They're not even, they just found this book, put it on eBay, and just put it on eBay. See what happens, you know, whatever. So because we have, at our temple, our Moorish Science Temple of America, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Moorish Divine and National Movement Institution is also a Moorish museum. So we basically bought it and then we donated it to the museum. Just as Moors, you know that there's a museum, you know, we buy the stuff, put in the museum. It's just makes sense, right? So I was telling Khalifa Media about it. And Khalifa Media said, well, if that's the one, then let's republish it. Like, it's a good idea. Now, this Quran is beat down. Like, Quran's beat down. Like, it had to get reproduced. That you can't do anything with that. You can't turn pages in that. It's not even, like, you just can't, right? So we explained the delicacy of the book to the print man, who's from Hindustan. This is my print man, Noor, right? My print man, Noor, who we go back, right? So, you know, he knows what's up. You know what I mean? Fez is up and all that. He knows what's up. So, you know, did his work, bam, bam, made me a copy that I could send to Khalifa Media, which is the one that you would see like a youth man holding up, right? So the Holy Quran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, which was a reproduction of a 1926 print, is at khalifamedia.com. It was prepared for publication by Sister T. Naji Ula L, courtesy of Brother Tallahassee Bey and Grand Sheikh Kudro Ado L, MST of A, number 5, Canaanland, Toronto. Prepared for publication by Sister Tahira S. Naji Ula L, Khalifa Media, Moorish Guide Publishing Company. khalifamedia@gmail.com. Copyright 2014. So, you know, this is not something that we can't find an original. We're guessing what an original is. This is an original of something from that time. This is an artifact, a Moorish artifact. This is a Moorish American piece of history. This is not this Egyptology BS that people ain't ever seen nothing over here about that they've touched or read to know that it's theirs. We aren't third-party perspective with regard to this. This is not just a holy Quran and you could just do whatever with it. And we're putting it on the record in a context that people don't hear. because all they have is these fake locks. Jokers. Jokers. I dare you. Don't make a video. Go to the whatever embassy and go talk some BS to them. Go find out something in their history that you think is relative to stuff you're supposedly finding out about Moors to make you not be a Moor and tell people that they're not Moors and all that. And bring that to them. I dare you. All you Moor haters, I dare you. Find somebody else's nationality and go to them with your camera and videotape you talking some BS to them about it. See what happens. I dare you. But of course, you know, you won't because you're just punks behind a camera. Not out here. You're not dealing with youth who are starving in the morning. That they're waking up at 7:30 in the morning to help out with the breakfast program so they can get breakfast because they'll have breakfast at their house. That's what we're dealing with. We're not dealing with fantasy world. We're actually dealing with people out here who they're not able to say, go fund me like y'all and get 50,000 idiots to give you $1. And then you not do anything with it. And then the people who gave the $1, oh, it ain't nothing. We'll just, you know, it's cool because that's our guy. You know, he's our guy. Yeah, he reps for us because we are the whatever. And you got roaches crawling out your cereal? You talking BS? You thought, yeah, young Pharaoh, he's the new guy for all the conscious young guys. But you have 10 $500 sneakers, but you can't buy a meal. Does that make sense to you? You have sneakers that are all low cut and you keep twisting your ankle and you're so dumb, you don't even get why you keep twisting your ankle and twisting your knee. It doesn't happen to NBA guys, so, you know, I guess it's cool. We'll go jump up and down and try to dunk and all that stuff in low cuts. Like some dum-dums. The fallen sons and daughters of the Asiatic nation of North America need to learn to love instead of hate and to know of his higher self and lower self. This is the uniting of the Holy Koran of Mecca for the teaching and instructing for all Moorish Americans, etc. This is the uniting of the Holy Koran of Mecca. It has nothing to do with some pale Arabs or whatever. Chicago is Mecca for people who aren't into Moorish science, whatever, and they think that everything Arabic has to do with over there. No, it doesn't. Sorry. They spoke that over here too. It's not like they just speak it over there. They spoke it over here too. But again, when you're dealing with dum-dums who were brought up by dum-dums, this is what you get. Frankenstein. Talking BS. He's got this book. He's going to prove something. Prove what? What's wrong with the fallen sons and daughters of the Asiatic nation of North America need to learn to love instead of hate? Ain't nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with learning to love instead of hate? What's Masonic about that? What's Rosicrucian about that? Something's wrong with learning to love instead of hate. Don't be a goddamn dum-dum. Just shut the hell up with Moors and anything else, Moorish. Talk about all the other BS that you used to talk about. Because remember, you weren't ever talking about this Moorish whatever, just because you're riding with Seti, the other dum-dum, who will even be whopped up. And everybody wants to deny it because everybody wants to be black and African. Hell out of here. All you guys suck. All you guys suck. Parading around with him still. And all the other clowns. And to know of his higher self and lower self. What's wrong with that? Matter of fact, y'all talk higher self, lower self all the time. So why you got issue with Noble Drew Ali and what he brought? Why you got issue? Y'all people talk about higher self, lower self all the goddamn time. If y'all talk about higher self and lower self all the time, Noble Drew Ali talks about higher self and lower self. What is the problem? What's the problem? Tell me. Find me a problem. There can't be a problem because you shouldn't have a problem. If there is a problem, somebody sent you. The only way that there's going to be a problem if somebody sent you. All of you, not just him. All these jokers just popping up all of a sudden. All of them. We have track record of who we came up under. Half these people, they can't even tell you that they met their master teachers. I met all my master teachers, except one. Actually, two. I met all my master teachers. Stop the BS. People are nobodies. Where do you come from? You went around with my master teachers were going around the country. The hell were y'all? You guys weren't even in the freaking stands. You weren't even at the game. What are you talking about? Scores of whatever. What highlights? What do you mean highlights? What do you mean? You weren't even there. You know something. This is the uniting of the Holy Koran of Mecca. Holy Koran right here that he's holding, and Mecca, Chicago. Because that's where Noble Drew Ali was at the time when he presented the Holy Quran to the Moors. Dumb. We're not talking about some Mecca over there. What does Mecca over there have to do with over here? Like, y'all already even know that when we talk to them and we say Muslim and Allah and Prophet Noble Drew Ali to them, they're looking at us funny. That's why we don't say that to them. We say we're Sufi. Oh, they get it immediately. They recognize why we have a prophet, because we're Sufi. Because Sufi tradition, it ain't just Muhammad is the prophet. It ain't just one guy. What do you mean one guy is the prophet? How's one guy the prophet? All these billions of people on the planet, one guy is a prophet? That 3/4 of the people of the world, they don't even know who he is? But he's the prophet. Get the hell out of here. One guy. We don't tell them we're Muslim. We might say Muslim. But when we say Assalamu alaikum to them, they know what's up. Ain't no argument about, oh, who's your prophet and all that stuff. They don't, why you have another book and that's not the book of the... They know what's up with Sufis. We're not part of your guys' BS. This is Islamic mysticism. This is not some traditional form of Islam and some Muhammad and all that stuff. That's not what this is. That's for that exists. There are people who are on that plane. They're no different than, Gnostics aren't Christian. But they beat some Christians up with facts. In their own stuff, because they know what their higher self and their lower self, and the people who know their lower self, ain't nobody trying to be them. Everybody's trying to raise themselves from the lower self. So how come some people just gravitate there? Just gravitate there. And then you gravitate there with them instead of raising your vibration. You're staying on the lows. And remember, just like Muhammad, Noble Drew Ali was the uniting. The uniting, what do you mean the uniting? The uniting of what? The uniting of the Holy Quran. What do you mean the uniting of the Holy Quran? Because there was a Moorish Holy Temple of Science and there was a Moorish Science Temple of America that had Holy Qurans. So the uniting of the Holy Quran was making both of them one. In Chicago, the Mecca. Because this is Moorish mysticism. It's not some BS that people think that they could just make some videos and try to make this look like some BS. It's not BS. This is not something you make mockery of. Noble Drew Ali had this place locked in the 1920s using Islam. What do you mean you're dissing Quran? How you dissing Quran? And again, always keep in mind, the Congolese guy telling Congolese guys they're not Congolese, they're something else. And they're adamant that they're not Congolese, but they look Congolese, they speak Congolese, they eat Congolese food, they dress just like Congolese, but they're not Congolese, they're something else. Tell me you're not looking at that man like a clown. You tell me you're not looking at him like a clown? If you tell me you're not looking at him like a clown, you're a clown. You must be a clown. Don't bring up Moors. You don't need to bring up Moors. Hate Moors all you want. You're only hating on yourself like a dummy. Only hating on yourself. Purposeful too. Not even on some accident. On purpose. And just because you said, this is for the young people because we ain't got no whatever like that. All right, let's see what message Noble Drew Ali brought to the young men. We're here. We've heard your message. Right, Frankenstein? We've heard your message. Let's hear what Noble Drew Ali's message is to the young men, and let's put it out to anybody out there. Which one you're going to go with? You're going to go with this guy's message. He has how much ever videos that you can check and see whatever it is that he said he's presenting to you young men. All right, now, you never heard about Noble Drew Ali. Don't think that he's late. Holy instruction and warnings for all young men. This is from the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. Remember, this part is not in the Aquarian Gospel. Remember, holy instruction and warnings for all young men is not in the Aquarian Gospel. Go check. They have the Aquarian Gospel online. They have the Aquarian Gospel online. Chapter 20. Holy instruction and warnings for all young men. All young men. All young men. I'm 42. So if you're not my age, you're a young man. You humble yourself. You heard young whoever talk. You heard him talk. Now you listen to your prophet. Shut the hell up, put your phone on vibrate and all that BS. And you hear the message that your prophet brought you in the 1920s. For you, young man, think you know something. Beware, young men, beware of all the allurements of wantonness, and let not the harlot tempt thee to excess in her delights. The madness of desire shall defeat its own pursuits. From the blindness of its rage, thou shalt rush upon destruction. And don't tell me the BS about it. It sounds like Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet. In the 1920s, majority of our people were Christian. So it only makes sense to write like a Christian if you're going to pull a Christian. Make sense? All right. So that's why it's written like this. And it doesn't need to be translated into how we talk today, because they still got Bibles today talking just like this. Because people are still Christian, because the plan worked to keep them away from this and have them into some Christian instead of some Islam, which is really their true religion. Because Christianity is not a religion. Therefore, give not up thy heart to her sweet enticements, neither suffer thy soul to be enslaved by her enchanting delusions. And for all you feminists, whoever's out there, shut the hell up. We're talking about the harlots. We're not talking about the pure divine beings that manifest as women. We're talking about the harlots right now. We're telling the young man, watch out for the harlots. These are the ways of the harlots. We're not talking about the queens, not the sisters, not the young ladies. What? Okay. The foundation of health, which must supply the stream of pleasure, shall quickly be dried up, and every spring of joy shall be exhausted. In the prime of thy life, old age shall take over thee. The sun shall decline in the morning of thy days. But when virtue and modesty enlighten her charms, the luster of a beautiful woman is brighter than the stars of heaven, and the influence of her power is in vain to resist. The whiteness of her bosom transcendeth the lily. Her smile is more delicious than a garden of roses. The innocence of her eyes is like that of the turtle. Simplicity and truth dwell in her heart. The kisses of her mouth are sweeter than honey. The perfumes of Arabia breathe from her lips. Shut not thy bosom to her tenderness of love. The purity of its flame shall ennoble thy heart and soften it to receive the fairest impressions. Now, who are you riding with? You riding this with the individual who's telling you about all this BS that you have no connection to? Or this wise man that put out a book to assist his people in getting from a lower self to a higher self, and told you as a young man about the desires of the flesh and the secrets of the mind, and told you where your energy should be, what you should look for. He even gave you reference points. As soon as you smell the Arabian whatever, you're like, oh yeah, that's her. Why? Because she's more. That's why she's wearing some Arabian whatever. You're not getting some Negro. You're no Coco Chanel smelling girl. Talking about sage smelling girl. Frankincense, myrrh smelling girl. Not talking about the illusions out here. We're not talking about the wantonness and the allurements. We're talking about the simplicity, the truth, more delicious than a garden of roses? You don't even eat roses. You understand the plane that he's going to? So you can realize really what you should, young man. Don't listen to these losers who want to be somebody. They ain't reached puberty yet. They still got the girl voice. Trying to tell you something. Just started growing a beard yesterday. You got Hindu boys, they got full beard, 14. This guy's talking BS. Don't let them lure you away from your birthright. Told you, the Holy Koran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, the Holy Koran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, was divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali. People could do whatever they want, like him. You know, you can do whatever you want, but don't think you're just gonna do whatever you want and we're not gonna, you know, correct you. Of course we're gonna correct you. What do you mean? We're big brother. You ain't nobody. What do you mean? Stick up who? Disarm you. What do you mean? What are you talking about? You better pull your pants up and get the hell home. And I'm freaking keeping the bullets too, just because. What are you trying out here? Like, we deal with these youths out here. They don't even know about this. How you know that the stuff that they create in the illusion of what is the real is really some BS that young men who partake in smoking, let's say. Saying young men, we're talking about grown people to do what they want. I'm saying young men, right? Now, you already know that after you bun it down, probably hot box or something like that, you're probably gonna really smell of whatever it is that you were partaking in. How do you not even think to have some cologne? And then you say, yes, brilliant. And you think that you're doing something and you still smell the same. But then when you go to the oils, when you go to the Sudanese oils, and you know, little brother that, you know, the Muslim guy, well, those guys have the oils on lock. Get some of those and at least do what you're doing with some decency. These people have no decency. Why? Because they have no profit. They have no culture. They have no nationality. They're just stateless, thinking that they know something. When an Egyptian adept came to them in the 1920s, we're not talking about 500 years ago. 1920s, man came, brought you a scroll. The scroll for you. Just read that, everything will be all right. Who the hell are you? Where the hell do you got that bucket hat from? Why are you dressed like Swami? What are those shoes curly? What do you mean you don't eat meat? What do you mean? Allah. And pay them no attention, just like they're doing today, making videos talking BS about this man who laid it down in the 1920s. Had hundreds of thousands of people backing him, including people in government, political people, international people, just because. He was the uniting of the Holy Koran in Mecca. He wasn't a self-proclaimed prophet. People recognized his prophethood. When somebody tells you, take all your money out the bank because the stock market's going to crash, and you go do it and the stock market crashes, you're probably going to recognize that guy who told you that as he knew something. That guy had to know something. Yo, where's that guy? He died yesterday. What? What do you mean? Yeah, he had tuberculosis or something like that. He died yesterday. Yeah, but okay, well, yesterday, Tuesday, then Saturday, he told me to take the money out. What do you mean he's dead? What do you mean? Well, Saturday he was in jail. You had a conversation with him. He was supposed to be locked up. And yeah, well, I dreamt about him, and then he told me something, and then I just said, oh, that's that guy that they show on TV, and he was in the newspaper and stuff like that, you know. And you know that people really saved. You know people really saved? They really were like, yo, this man really said that. And it happened. They were backing him. And then people are going to try to make you think that, nah, he didn't have it going on. No, he didn't have it going on. People think he had it going on, but he didn't have it going on. Oh, he had it going on. Do not be fooled. Because again, people have their right to say whatever. But we're always going to use it as an opportunity to put our people on higher game. Thought that you knew something, but these people make us go into the vault a little bit. Just so that we can present some more perspectives. Because this is more science. This isn't some black group where there's only one way this goes. Right? That's why we said, anybody his age or younger, you could use the website WeSendIt.com. Send big files through WeSendIt.com. So you could talk as long as you want. Doesn't matter. You know, or as short as you want. Doesn't matter. You got some facts to put on the record to prove your Moorish nationality works, to prove your Moorish nationality is real, and you're not just out here playing around like the black guys, then send in something. Send in a video, whatever. You know what I mean? And we'll put you up. Let you school whoever's supposed to be schooled. Right? All we're doing is putting out perspectives. You know, doing what some other people say that they're doing, making our people think.
Motherfucker up and go to work right now. Right now. I open this bitch and go to work on you niggas right now. I don't want to hear nothing about no Google. Nigga, I'm in your shit. I'm in your teachings. This shit say divinely prepared by Noble Drew Ali. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Said he already exposed. This is plagiarism. But I want to show y'all something. See? I want to show y'all something real quick. I want to show y'all something.
Now again, to address the plagiarism, they always go, like we said, you know, just go in the vault just because. They always know to use Aquarian gospel. Nobuju Ali plagiarized Aquarian gospel. Nobuju Ali plagiarized Aquarian gospel. Well, many people say that Aquarian gospel might be a fraud. And Levi Dowling didn't even really go into no Akashic records and get that. A missionary gave him that. Tibetan monk gave him that. And he's pushing it like, oh yeah, he into some Akashic records and got that. But they never ever tell you about Urantia book. Urantia book. Now, when Nobuju Ali said, I'm a universal prophet, and he told Moors to be like him, their prophet. So Moors have a universal perspective, or are supposed to, let's say. The Moors that have a universal perspective aren't limited to Holy Koran of Moorish Science Temple of America, because we know that spiritual enlightenment comes from many sources. So to make it seem like, you know, Nobuju Ali copied some European who brought a book about spiritual enlightenment, I mean, what's the issue? Isn't that what you guys want, spiritual enlightenment? Because the Aquarian gospel is showing how Yeshua got spiritual enlightenment by going around the world and studying from other sages, which is what a real student does. A real student doesn't have one master teacher. A dumb student is that. A real student has many master teachers. Don't remember that they're in your favor. Don't remember that they're for your liberation. Forget all that BS, because that's not what's going down. They're about robbing you of your spiritual awareness. Urantia book. And again, it deals with the quote unquote missing years of Jesus's life that's not in the Bible. Now, are you going to say that he plagiarized that? Well, you can't, because they don't even know where that came from. But it deals with the 1818 missing years of Jesus' life. Right? And keep in mind, the reason why it's divinely prepared by Nobuju Ali is because, again, because he's a universal prophet, he seeked out many sources. He seeked out many sources. And the sources that he seeked out, he let you know. Know thyself and thy father God Allah. The genealogy of Jesus, with 18 years of the events, life, works, and teachings in India, Europe, and Africa. These events occurred before he was 30 years of age. These secret lessons are for all those who love Jesus and desire to know about his life works and teachings. Man is into Jesus, and we know that that's a European. No. Jesus is a code word for the Son. Jesus is not European. And remember, this is the 1920s. So he had to speak in the language that our people would understand. But if you're a metaphysician and a Gnostic, in your mind, you're just replacing Jesus. It's not saying Jesus. You already know. Stop being complainer. It says Jesus. So what? It says Jesus. Translate it. You're a metaphysician, aren't you? Aren't you ancient Kemetic, whatever? So you know that he's not. You know they're talking about Heru. So why don't you just think Heru? Why even bringing up Jesus? Why does it say Jesus? Why does it say this? Why does it say that? What do you mean? Translate it to what you know. This is a universal book. This is not limited to some because it's written in a certain way. Oh yeah, that's some Christian reading in it. The hell out of here. Dear readers, which he has the book, so you know that he's going to read it, right? Dear readers, do not falsely use these lessons. Okay. Remember, he's going against the prophet right now, because this is what the prophet's saying. Dear readers, he's not talking to Moors. He's talking to anybody who picks this up. Look at the big hex that we're putting on him. Watch how those pimples don't stop on the forehead. Watch. Dear readers, do not falsely use these lessons. This is Noble Drew Ali talking, the prophet. And this guy's going to falsely use the lessons? I bet you the pimples don't go away. Watch. No matter what he does, you're going to have to call Puffy to get rid of them pimples. You're going to have to call Jennifer Lopez or somebody.
See, this is why religion needs to be talked about. See, because people keep saying, well, why is it important that we're talking about religion? Because religion is taking you to Freemasonry. I'm going to share my screen real quick. with y'all. Now, we're going to go to my PowerPoint that I did on Islam. Now, I just threw this picture in here real quick for y'all to see my point. Now, you see his hat, family, okay? His hat say Mount Ararat. You see that? It say Ararat. Now watch this. When you read the Bible, what the Bible say? And the ark rested in the 7th month on the 17th day of the month upon Mount Ararat. Now when you look up Mount Ararat, okay, that's in the middle fucking east. Now the top verse 1144 right here is the Quran. Now let's read this. And the command was given, earth swallow up your water, and heaven obeyed. So the water subsided. The command was fulfilled, and the ark settled on Mount Judy. Okay, now Mount Judy is right next to Mount Ararat. But the point I want to make is the Quran and the Bible not only have contradicting landing marks for Noah's Ark, but they both tell you that Noah's Ark, okay, landed in the Middle East. Now, after Noah's Ark landed, this is supposed to be how the world was repopulated. Now, when you come down here, okay, and you go in the Quran, all right? No, right here, when you go in the Quran and you go to chapter 3, when you go to chapter 3, verse 33 in the Quran, this is what it says. Truly Allah chose Adam and Noah, the descendants of Abraham and of Imran, above all mankind. Now, Abraham was considered Shem. Shem is considered a Middle Eastern Semite. So the Quran says that Noah and Adam, who are descendants of...
You hear all this blah, 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 blah BS? Just blah, 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 blahing? Just blah, blahing. Just blah, 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 blah. Proving what? What the hell does this have to do with Morris? But we will go to the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, since we're metaphysicians, and look up Ararat, since he has such an issue with Ararat, because a quote-unquote Freemason had Ararat on his fez. Remember, this is metaphysics, which has to do with ancient Egyptian mysteries, which is the stuff that the Masons have. That these people are saying Moors are following the Masons. Okay, well, the Masons have the ancient Egyptian mysteries, which is metaphysics. So let's see what the Freemasons would look at Ararat from the perspective of why they have it on the fez, not on the body, but on the fez, which is the head, on the fez, which is the light beam. Metaphysics. Ararat. From the lack of decision on the part of historians as to where and what Ararat really was, and the diversity of the meanings attributed to the name, we infer that it represents that which to the spiritually unawakened man is unknown. This unknown, see, that's why he's blah blahing, because he fell into the unknown, trying to talk BS about Ararat. This unknown may to one individual be sacred, high, holy, and filled with creative power, sacred land, holy land, lights, effluence. And to another, it may be a chaotic wilderness or something fearful and terrible. Isn't that how they talk about Moors? Don't they talk about Moors like they're scared? Don't they talk about Moors like they're in fear of the Moors because the Moors enslaved the black people? So we don't. The rivers, Euphrates and Tigris, rise in Armenia, which is supposed to be the land of Ararat of Bible story. He's using Bible, right? The Hiddekel symbolizes the great nervous system in man. The Euphrates symbolizes the circulatory system of man. The nervous system lies very close to the mental and spiritual. The circulatory system is more on the region of the physical. Thus, the realm of which Ararat is symbolical, the unknown, is the source of both the mental and the physical of man. We should call this source the realm of spirit. It is a savior of life unto life, or of death unto death, according to whether the laws of spirit are recognized and obeyed, or are unacknowledged in thought and act. So these people can't reach spiritual enlightenment, but they're trying to put you on game. They're trying to tell you something about Ararat and Moors when they're quoting Bible and Koran verses like some good Christians. They're not telling you about the metaphysics. Remember, this is them putting their own noose on their neck and slapping the horse.
Abraham, aka the fucking Arabs in the Middle East, are above all mankind. When you come back here to the Bible verse, it tells you that Noah's Ark landed in the Middle East on Mount Ararat. Okay, now watch me. Watch.
Now hold on a second. If there's a Middle East, where's the Middle West? Where's the Middle North? Where's the Middle South? To quote Asher Kwesi. Now, if there's no Middle East, if Middle East is an illusion, Well, we'll let him carry on.
Watch me bang. Watch me bang. Watch me fucking bang. Now, when you go here to the 33 Degrees of Deception Masonry book, where they interview the 33rd degree Masonry, they ask him what? They say, are the Shriners a part of Masonry? He says, yes. The Shrines, whose full name is the Ancient Arabic Order, okay, Nobles of the Mystic Shrine, is a part of the Masonic system. It is the Islamic expression of Freemasonry. The shrine was first organized in New York in 1872. Second question, are these the men who wear the red hats with tassels and glittery decorations? His answer, yes. Now watch this. Here's a fucking Shriner. The glittery hat with the tassel. And the hat say Ararat. Now Ararat is the same place that the Bible says that Noah's Ark landed. And it's in the Middle East. The same place that the Quran says that Allah said was above all mankind. And so religion was written by Masons to give them a false spiritual sense of justification for oppressing all other races, because according to them, God put them above everybody else. And so if you bring my people into religion, you are bringing them into that subscription.
Now, we're going to take a pause and we're going to just go to another one of the master teachers, Queen Afua. And you'll see where I'm going. Queen Afua. Man, heal thyself. Journey to optimal wellness. This is why you got the pimples on the forehead, but they don't get it. An alpha man in a negative state is a dominating, aggressive, pushy, short-fused, controlling, manipulating know-it-all. He is verbally oppressive and abusive, and maybe even physically violent. The negative alpha man believes it's his way or the highway. He's egotistically driven. The negative alpha man does not share his full heart for fear of hurt, and he suppresses his problems and pain. The suppressed pain lashes out, and in a backhand slap to the woman who, according to him, talks too much, he hides himself in silence in hopes that no one finds out about his rage. What happens when you turn off your computer, little youth? Do you go in your closet and weep to yourself? This is why the prophet came, to bring you from your lower self to your higher self, so you can realize the realities of man and leave the illusions. Remember the rage, manipulating. He's a know-it-all, verbally oppressive and abusive, negative alpha man. That's your superhero. Your superhero is negative alpha man. And you're looking at Moore's crazy. At least our superhero is a prophet. At least our superhero is a prophet. All right. You guys have negative alpha man as your prophet. Now, the other thing that we're going to put on the record is Moors and Masonry, Brother Abdullah El Talib Mozi Bey, another one of the master teachers, because we have many. Don't get it twisted. We have many. Page 51. The European Masons proudly donned the Moorish fez as a badge of honor for conquering the Moroccan Moors in their land, which includes all these people who claim that they're Negro, black, colored, African, Kemetic, whatever, but they're on this side. Only went over there on visits, but they're over here on the islands, but they're not Moors. They're everything not from here, but they're staying here, but they're not Moors. They're not Moors, but they're everything else. They, too, are part of the Moors that were conquered in their own land by the colonial powers. Because these Moors wanted to be Negro, black, and colored, and Africans, and slaves. Instead of being their ancient foremothers and forefathers come again. The European Masons proudly donned the Moorish fez as a badge of honor for conquering the Moroccan Moors in their land. Now the European Masons wear the Moorish fez to symbolize their claim of Moorish nationality, sovereign authority, of which they exercise in a substitute and temporary capacity. So when you hear these people talk about, oh my God, the Masons and the Masons did this and the Masons did that. The Masons that they're talking about are sitting in their seat. And they're allowing them to do that because they want to be Negroes instead of claiming their stuff back. Because the Masons know that that's not their stuff. The Shriners know that the shrine of the Shriners is the Asiatic woman. The Shriner's shrine is the woman that these negative alpha males don't have any honor for. Why? How do we know? Because they always push patriarchy. Because there's no such thing as a black woman. So they're pushing patriarchy. Because they're saying she's that. And she, like the good bed wench, is going with it. And she's a black woman. Instead of Allah in woman. Or Allah. Arm leg, arm head. We're not talking about no religion. What are you talking about? Arm leg, arm head. Remember, these people are wearing the fez in a temporary capacity and a substitute capacity. Why are they substituting? Because Jordan, he's sick, but he doesn't want to play. He wants to ride bench. What do you mean you're riding bench? What do you mean you twisted your ankle, you're not going to play, KD? What do you mean? What do you mean you have a cracked rib and you're not playing? What do you mean? Why aren't you playing? Well, my ribs cracked. What the hell you mean your ribs cracked? So, what the hell do you mean? There's people went out there played with casts. Talking about ribs cracked. You're a superstar guy. Substitute. You healed now? Are you healed by knowing about your nationality and birthrights? Are you healed by knowing that you're not Negro, black, colored? Taking the cast off. Stop playing cripple. Get up from the goddamn chair. You know you don't need it. You're playing games. Because you love the substitute in the temporary capacity ruling you. You love it. But you're never going to take the seat back. You're going to sit there and complain. Again, these Shriners, these Freemasons, these individuals, when they say imperial potentate, when they say ancient Arabic order of the nobles of the mystic shrine, that's because Islam taught them. They didn't teach Islam. How come these people are making it sound like Freemasons came before Islam? Freemasons didn't come before Islam. So how are you making it like that's their stuff? Prove to me that Freemasonry came before Islam. They're substituting for you, dumbasses that don't want to be Moors. You don't want to be Moors. So they're going to be Moors as substitute. Wear the fez and everything. Call all their lodges Arabic names and places and everything. Just because. You guys want to play comedic. You want to play stuff that doesn't exist. Want to play illusion. Time to stop playing illusion. Let's deal with reality. Let's do it reality. People aren't dealing with reality. People are dealing with playing you out of your birthright.
What the fuck part of this don't you understand? Now here's where it get crazy. Here's where it get crazy. Because this is crazy. I swear to God, I wasn't even looking for this shit. I wasn't even looking for this shit I'm about to drop. Listen to this. Listen to this. Remember when I was going in on Islam, not the NOI, when I was going in on Islam, and I said that the holy city of Mecca wasn't built until 1926 by Azul Sahib? When you open up remember I said that this Quran, this Quran by the Moors came out before the Islamic Quran that's used by Muslims? Okay, watch this. Remember, family, shh, I'm hunting rabbits. Shh, I'm hunting rabbits. Remember when I said the holy city of Mecca?
Remember he likes to talk about, remember when we talked about, remember when we talked about the origin of El Murfad and that El Murfad was a Moor? That's why his name's El Murfad. Remember? And what did he say just now? That he's hunting what? He's hunting wabbits, right? Isn't that what El Murfad says? So if El Murfad's a Moor, and then he is saying that he's hunting wabbits, and Moors are the wabbits, and Moors, Canaanland Moors, just go check the archives, Canaanland Moors, El Murfad, and then you see El Murfad is a Moor. Who's the fool? Who's the dum-dum? We're continuing to prove that he's dum-dum, but, we just want to stop here to show you how Allah, Noble Drew Ali, the Prophet, and all the ancestors whose side they're on have people telling on themselves. His own words. His own words. His own words that he's hunting rabbits. Cool, let's ride with your hunting rabbits. Moors are the rabbits. Okay, so you're hunting us. You found out some secrets about the Moors and their connection to some Illuminati and all this type of stuff. But Elmer Fudd is a Moor. Just go check the Canaanland Moors archives. Canaanland Moors, Elmer Fudd. Just go YouTube search that. And don't forget to check the timestamp of when we uploaded that, so you can know who's really on it and who's playing with you. Don't let them play with you. Don't let them play with you. They hang theirself. They hang themselves.
Mecca was created in 1926 and it was finished in 1936. And the first Islamic history ever recorded was in 1926. All right. After the Ottoman Turks were defeated. Watch this. Watch this shit. I'm going to open it in front of you. Watch this shit. Here go Noble Jew Ali. It say that this book was divinely prepared by Prophet Noble Jew Ali. Now, mind you, I just read how the Quran said, okay, that Arabs was above all mankind. But according to Noble Jew Ali, it says what? Know yourself and your father God Allah. Huh? The uniting of Asia. The Middle East. It don't say shit about no goddamn America and no motherfucking Aboriginal nothing.
Maybe he didn't read enough. Remember, Noble Jew Ali said, do not falsely use these lessons. Do not falsely use these lessons. You're going to go to the back. You're going to go to the back. Quote that Noble Jew Ali said, know yourself and your father God Allah. You're going to skip over that you may learn to love instead of hate. Every man need to worship under his own vine and fig tree, and go to the uniting of Asia and then talk about that has nothing to do with America when the world was known as Asia. The world was known as Asia. Doesn't the world include North America? So if it's the uniting of Asia, dumb. But it's because Seti taught you. That's why we know that, you know, if you stop and think for yourself, instead of listening to these dumbasses that taught you, you might be all right. But nah, you want to be the hype man. You want to be Flavor Flav. Well, you know, you're Flavor of Love Flavor Flav. You're not even PE Flavor Flav. You're Flavor of Love Flavor Flav. You want to be hype man? Now again, lying, using this divinely prepared teachings, using the divinely prepared teachings, right, to lie. Moors are descendants of the ancient Moabites. We know this. All right. Noble Jew Ali says now, their dominion and inhabitation extended from northeast and southwest Africa across the great Atlantis, even unto the present North, South, and Central America, and also Mexico and the Atlantic Islands, the uniting of Asia. If the world was known as Asia, then What do you mean he's not talking about America? What do you mean? Are you a dum-dum? Who taught you? Oh, Seti taught you. No wonder you're stupid.
It don't say shit about that. Matter of fact, let me prove my point. Fuck this. Watch this. So the Moorish Science Temple is trying to get you to subscribe to Islam. It don't say no I, self, Lord, and Master. It says Allah. And then they wear the fucking fez like I showed you because it's Masonic. Now watch this. Watch this. When you open this book up, right? When you open this book up, right? Watch this. It say, Noble Jew Ali, the prophet and founder of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, to redeem the people from their sinful ways. Now watch this shit. Who the fuck is this? This shit say Sultan Abdul Aziz Suad, the descendant of Hagar, and now the head of the holy city of Mecca. This is the nigga who I was telling y'all in my last lecture built Mecca. They got him in the book.
And what's the big deal? So Noble Drew Ali has a picture of the Sultan who built Mecca in his book. Like, I don't see, let me go back to the Queen. An alpha male in a negative state is a dominating, aggressive, pushy, short-fused, controlling, manipulating, know-it-all. It's no Illuminati why the Sultan's picture is there. There's no secret society or Shriners why the Sultan's picture is there. I mean, if Moors are Islamic, it's only right that you give honors to the head of Islam at that time. Like, why wouldn't you give honors? Why would you be the coming of the Prophet and not give honors to the reigning Sultan? And remember, Noble Drew Ali is the obverse. But the Moorish nation is the reverse, not the Sultan. That was just Noble Drew Ali giving him honors. Why? Because we read yesterday that the Moors already. Let's find it. I know it's a lot to grasp. I know. It is so mind-blowing that it's at this place. But trust that it's only that it's time. It's just time. It's just that time right now where people just have to know now. They just have to know. Can't even find it. But the Moors already have had conversations with Morocco. And that Morocco recognized that, yeah, we know who you are, and we get everything that you're saying. We are not oblivious to where you're coming from. This is the same people who they're making it seem like because Noble Drew Ali has a picture of Sultan in the Quran that there's some type of conspiracy or something. But again, they have the mind, like we read, that was brought up without nationality and birthrights. Remember, we came up under Hemet. Hemet's teacher was C. Freeman L. Right? We came up under Alim Bey. Alim Bey's teacher was high-ranking Washita. That we have a timeline. Do not be fooled. There is no purpose more than for Moors to see our people stop playing games or just get down with the birthrights. But we know, because we have a prophet, that it's only going to be a handful saved. And we're going to have fingers left over. So this was just a new year send off for the Moors, because we already know what it is. You know, we already know what it is. And because we know what it is, you know, we're going to keep beating it up for some more. Just because it's New Year. Why not? Get your food and all that stuff, because I got about 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 more books to go through before we're done with this guy. So let's hear Moore's perspective of the Circle 7 Quran that has the Pale Arab in it. And let's see how they think about it, you know, because it's really about the lessons. You know, you just look at 2 pages and you're talking BS. So we'll go to Bringing the People Back into the Constitutional Fold of Government by Rasmariah V. Bay, page 56. About the Holy Quran. The Prophet's program is a universal, national, and divine movement of and for the world. Yet, he came to his own people because they needed it the most, and still do, with full knowledge that there never was a time when man was not, as man is mind, and that we are spiritual, and the fall of humanity is the fall of our spiritual self into the density of flesh. It therefore is of great importance for us to strengthen and develop our spiritual existence. We will not be able to take up this mission without spiritual knowledge of self. In order to continue these great works and to evolve, we must become one with ourselves, both spiritual and physical. The Circle 7 Holy Quran speaks to the spirit and the body. It is likened to an oracle. You will find divine instructions on various facets of your life. It states in the beginning of the book, the reason we have not had these lessons are as follows. The reasons these lessons have not been known is because the Muslims of India, Egypt, and Palestine had these secrets and kept them back from the outside world. And when the time appointed by Allah, they loosened the keys and freed the secrets. And for the first time in ages, have these secrets been delivered in the hands of the Muslims of America. Now, if Noble Drew Ali is so pro-Arab and pro-Pale Arab and pro-Middle East, how come Egypt, Palestine, which they say is Middle East, had secrets and Noble Drew Ali released them. If he's working with them to keep our people in enslavement, why would he release the secrets that the slavers have? Maybe because he wasn't on their side? Maybe? Maybe because he wasn't a Mason? Maybe? Just maybe. Just maybe. So then it is clear that we each will either evolve or become fertilizer for those who are evolving. So Islam to all the expanding Moors, Islam to all the Moors that are continuing to evolve and making fertilizer of these dirty Moors. Making fertilizer. Who opened the door to the rubber room? Whoever opened the door to the rubber room, you're a dum-dum. Teach what you know with open hearts and minds, and in the spirit of love and truth, you will surely find peace and freedom. Then, and only then, will justice be done. Guide the people through their degrees. Degrees are the evolution of knowledge, and you cannot and will not stop that evolution, as this is a spiritual war and a spiritual movement. Read the Circle 7 Holy Koran, divinely prepared by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, as it speaks to your soul, your spirit man. The lessons contained within it cannot be sold or bought. They must become a part of your unfolding, as in all things that are great and important, you must walk alone. Be sure to avail the Circle 7 Holy Koran to all as the oracle that it is. Peace on earth and goodwill to all men, which is mother first. Bringing the people back into the constitutional fold. Addressing misunderstandings of purpose concerning Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali, Noble Drew Ali, the Moorish Divine and National Movement by Taj Tariq Bey. Professor Drew skillfully presented the ancient Moabite Moorish cosmo-philosophies to the Moors in a palatable manner and flavored with familiar forms. This is to rescue an idol God-focused and dedicated people who more often than not reacted with fear of or a disdain for higher knowledge and philosophy, especially that which competed with or contradicted the Roman Inquisition, oriented religious and political teachings and influences that they were accustomed to under forced servitude and the corporate state wardship rulers. An example of that ancient Moorish cosmo philosophy will be presented for you Moors to dissect and to analyze. This veiled presentment of the fallen Moors' true high culture, which for generations was held back, denied, and misrepresented. It has come to be known to those subjugated and held to Roman Pontifex direction oppression. The suppressed people's only yoke and lot was to be flaunt and imposed Inquisition dogma, foul and putrid mind control. An example of that metaphysical ancient Moabite Moorish cosmology culture is veiled in open sight, as shown in an excerpt from the Holy Koran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Circle 7, Chapter 1, the creation and fall of man. Make note of the underlying text. The spiritual dispensation goes as follows. But man will regain his lost estate, his heritage, but he must suffer trials and temptations manifold. But let him know that cherubim and seraphim that rule the stations of the sun and spirit of the mighty Allah who rule the solar stars are his protectors and his guide, and they will lead to victory. A master teacher or master metaphysician has no need to make pompous claims about his knowledge, adeptship, or enlightenment abilities by way of mere title or boast. Ego has no vain role in the realm of noble principles. Ego has no vain role in the realm of noble principles. He needs only to do his work and fulfill his mission. Humble is the way. Lesson. The next one is, gotta skip that one. Truth about your birthrights. RV Bay Publications in association with Moore's Order of the Round Table. Prophet Noble Jew Ali brought back the names and the nationality of the Moors of North America, who have been suppressed and miseducated by the occupational Europeans. The Prophet founded the Moorish Divine and National Movement of the world and began to teach the unconscious Aboriginal Moors to be themselves. This great Moorish movement, with its subsequent subdivisional branches and organizations, were founded in order to achieve the broad-based communications necessary to inform and to activate the natural people, Moors, who were made unconscious of themselves, law, and history, and were subjugated under European psychology. Thus, the great meeting was on, and is on, to begin the great missionary work needed to help uplift fallen humanity. Professor Drew, Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali, tailored and prepared ancient principled lessons for the fallen Moors of North Amexem, North America, coming down from our ancient forefathers to demonstrate right law, government, for the teaching and instructing of all Moorish Americans, etc. These lessons are for guiding the intersocial responsibilities of all citizen members of society. The ancient Moabites are the founders of civilization, and so there is a higher level of responsibility, which, by the nature of that reality, resides with the Moors. The ancient government and philosophy principles are embodied within the following 3 chapters excerpted from the Holy Koran, Circle 7, as prepared by Noble Jew Ali. Chapter 29, Magistrate and Subject, deals with the higher consciousness of proper rulership in government, organization, and association. This chapter demonstrates the truth about the origin of sovereign power as coming from the people, and that such supreme powers are conditionally bestowed upon chosen rulers. Moorish Science Temples of America are to be, by policy, governed by these highly principled lessons. Holy Instructions from the Prophet, the Social Duties. Chapter 30 deals with the civic duties of the citizen, members of the civilized society, and explains the reason for organized government and the reasons that one should have a greater appreciation for government. Moors are the founders of organized society, civilization, and should be cognizant of those things necessary to become better citizens. These lessons of law, order, and governmental principles are a part of the instructions given to be practiced within the Moorish Science Temples of America, etc. Holy Instructions from the Prophet, Justice. Chapter 31 deals with instructions involving the supreme isonomy principle of justice as a necessary component of a right law-governed society, and expresses what role of importance justice plays in its sublime effects. The lack of maintaining justice causes a society to descend to the negative. These ancient lessons are guide principles for the running of the Moorish Science Temples of America, etc., and are a pattern for good government, etc. People playing with the prophet like he didn't know what was up. Othello's Children of the New World, Moorish History and Identity in the African American Experience, Jose V. Pimienta Bay. When discussing the Moorish Koran, Simpson implies that Ali knowingly plagiarized much of it from the Aquarian Gospel of Jesus Christ, but Ali never claimed to have written the Moorish Koran. He only stated that he prepared it. Simpson says the Aquarian Gospel is a text with which is said to have been spiritually revealed to Levi Dowling, a Scot Welshman living in the 19th century Ohio. This account is echoed by a quote-unquote black divinity school via Howard University's Directory of African American Religious Bodies, but neither Howard University nor Simpson ever entertained the possibility that Levi's Aquarian Gospel and Ali's Moorish Koran were both part of a continuum of more ancient sources. Dowling himself had most likely drawn from an earlier written source, and that is precisely what Irish-American researcher Peter Lamborn Wilson found in his research. It is in his more contemporary work of the early 1990s, Wilson traces much of the Aquarian Gospel and Moorish Koran's texts back to manuscripts found by Nicholas Notovich in a Tibetan monastery. Notovich was a Russian Jew who converted to the Russian Orthodox faith. Notovich published the manuscripts in 1894 after having acquired them from Tibetan monks who had compiled them as works of Saint Isa. Significantly, Isa is the Muslim Arabic reference for Jesus. Interestingly enough, Isa is also Gaelic for Jesus. In a move that seems somewhat paradoxical for an Irish American with a Christian upbringing, Wilson does not treat the MSTA movement as an oddball cult as so many other writers have done. In fact, Wilson himself recognizes Noble Drew Ali as an American prophet. Wilson tells how he himself became part of the Moorish Orthodox Church of America in Baltimore back in the late 1950s. The church was founded by European Americans and centered its teachings around the Moorish Koran, which Ali had introduced in the late 1920s. This is how they're going with it. Neither Simpson nor the Directory of African American Religious Bodies suggests a spiritual or theological explanation for the existing parallels between the Moorish Koran and the Aquarian Gospel. Only Dowling is considered to have had a revelation, quote unquote. But ironically, both Simpson and the Directory represent theocentric and theological Christian organizations. And from a theological standpoint, one could and perhaps argue that spiritual truths, peace, hold on, yo, that spiritual truths are found in many places. A truly theocentric theologian could easily argue that both Juali and Levi Dowling had heard the same divine message and had conveyed the same truth. Indeed, if the God force is everywhere, then one should find examples of it everywhere. Can any one religion really claim a monopoly on all aspects of spiritual understanding? Islam more. Yo, I just want you to just put yourself on the record because I'm just live on YouTube right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have about 70 Moors online right now. So you could just send your Islams out to the Moors.
Yes. Islam.
And just put your name on the record too.
Yes, this is Yasin Bey. Trademark, copyright, XRL. Patrice Severin.
Islam.
Copyright, trademark.
So if Moors remember, a few years ago, we were talking about the Moor that we used to send the Qurans, and he was inside, and he was dealing with some BS, and he met some Moors in there, and one of the Moors that he met,
got him. I squashed that, brother.
right? Well,
I don't deal with him. I cut him off.
Right.
I pledge y'all. Temple number 5.
Islam. So give thanks for the shout, boy. Just give me a shout back. Give me a shout back in a little bit. You're good.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Moore.
Happy New Year to you too, Moore.
Yeah,
happy New Year to you. And give thanks for the shout, yo.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, boy.
Yeah, peace.
So that was one of the Moors who the 5 grand Moors tried to get. Right? And you heard it from his own mouth. He cut them Moors off. Cut those Moors off. Why? Because found his way home. So Islam told the Moors that found their way home. We want to say once again, Happy New Year to all the Moors. Definitely appreciate the energy. Definitely appreciate the vibes for today. It was great to give people some licks, because I haven't took off my belt in a long time for a liquor youth man trying to get hype. So peace and love to all the Moors. Don't forget nomoredaily.com. Don't even not check it out. nomoredaily.com. White power to all the free white people. Don't forget, get Brother Abdullah Bey's book, Moors and Masonry. Othello's Children in the New World, Jose V. Pimienta Bey. Truth About Your Birthrights, addressing misunderstandings of purpose concerning Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali, and bringing the people back into the constitutional fold of government, RV Bay Publications. Remember to study, 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 and don't be fooled by these newcomers that, you know, they read something and whatever like that. They think they know something, but they're 580 years ahead of themselves, talking crazy, right? Talking crazy. So Islam to all the Moors. Peace and love. Don't forget to study, study, study. And always make it a theme that you try your best to know more daily. Try your best. You know, don't be like these people and be stuck in, you know, dum-dum land. Don't be stuck in dum-dum land. Don't let it happen. Don't let it happen. Make sure that you study, study, study. Make sure that you know thyself. Do not take your intelligence for granted, because you just might lose it listening to these people. You just might fall into the place of no return. And once you're in there, that's that for you. That is that. So again, Islam to all the Moors, peace and love. We win, we won, and we shall continue winning at waking up our people and bringing them to the truth about their nationality and birthrights. And don't forget, for all you naysayers, all you BS talkers, don't be shy. Call in tomorrow night. Sons of Allah, blogtalkradio.com, 347-945-5899. blogtalkradio.com, MHHS, eyes wide open, Sons of Allah, 9 p.m. tomorrow. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you tune in. Islam, Moors. Peace and love.
More and more I am being guided to study more. More and more I am being guided to study more.
See my Moorish flag flying like my Moorish cape. I'm not a Jew, but Jerusalem has a Moorish gate. Dirty Moors unreal, call them Moorish fakes. Pull at Negroes' emotions like some Moorish drapes. If you really want to know, go to a Moorish meeting. You better have a pen and pad, cause when active Moors speaking, it's wake up time. You won't find a Moorish sleeping. Crescent moon and star in the sky, that's a Moorish beacon. The way I navigate beats, call me Moorish Seaman. My nationality, I have the power, Moorish He-Man. Moorish turban, I'm loyal, don't mistake me for bourbon. Moorish master MC surgeon, not a rapping servant. We suburban, Moors are so determined to solve the Negro problem. Moorish white man's burden. Moors beans conquer, white rice, that's a Moorish plate. Black or more fish on the hook, that's a Moorish bait. Moorish estate before chapter 48, ancestral line. All secrets taken away. Moors are not clandestine. Euromasons go to back rooms or washrooms, returning black robes and hoods with cloaks. Moorish costume. You won't have it twisted once the Moorish got you. Desensitized to facts so the truth won't shock you. Some people call it awesome. I'm making it awful. Liar, lawyer, pushing the legal when Moors are lawful. Preachers give you ghost spell, she bring Moorish gospel. Moors are ancient, they even found a fez on a fossil. Even Bruce Lee knew he wore shirts with arms. Even MC Hammer knew pantaloons are Moorish pants.
I understand, man. I understand that nationality is the order of the day. I understand.
I've seen and heard Moorish things in this realm. I had to fathom in shadow eyes inside hoods. Moorish master phantoms, smoke swarms, swollen circle 7 forms. You can stay close, I'm gonna stay far from the norm. Tory and Astro, travel on terror, no license. No jail cell, no cuffs, no sirens. No watching over my back, trying not to get stabbed. No fence hopping, windows popping. Want me now, Moorish monk status. Bad up any youth who's baddest. With knowledge of self, Moorish Koran quotes, gun in my belt. Moorish Naga, not a nigga. No shots fired. Telling officers they're servants and just hired. Easing back into his cruiser, Popo ego bruiser. Tables turn, Moorish status got him like the loser. It's a shame, many hear it, but only a few wake up from the dream state and do what Moors do. Fearing their own Moorish star, peasant, L-Bay. I'm staying Moorish, I don't care what blacks say. You can tell me, many Moors are running a racket. Or show me pics proving Drew Ali is a Moorish faggot. No matter how bad it looks, I'm not dropping this habit. Moorish Neo wake up the streams telling me follow white rabbits, jumping, stumbling blocks. They call Holy Trinity. Moorish mind, soul, and heart expressing divinity. I'm Illuminati, illuminated, great seal more. All seeing eye from high, being the being I. Stand on squares and compass as Allah prepares the mind to handle demonic candles, devilish stairs, casting spells so I can abandon and give them my power. For grand dragon commanded from a Moorish tower, yelling Alfred Pipe quotes, don't be surprised to catch me. Drawing Moorish pentagrams, reading Madame Blavatsky.
But I'm a Moor. Islam. I'm a Moor. Got sense enough to know I'm a Moor. And they gonna never argue with you that I'm not a Moor. And wouldn't come in your house or come among you and say I'm a Moor if I didn't feel in my heart, in my mind, in my soul that I am. God damn it, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm a Moor. So if I say it, if I mean it, generally, I say it. Are you a Muslim? Yes. But I know my roots, and I ain't Kunta Kinte.
The street is my world. I don't pretend to go uptown and be anything fancy. I can, but I find more real in the world that I'm in than I do the tinsel. And the real world is the one I have to deal with every day. Believe me, if I started murdering people, there'd be none of you left.
Let the bass kick.
Playtime been over since y'all dropped the ball. Bound to the continent, there's no asylum for y'all. Pushing the black Asiatic game with Fort L and Pool Bay. Before NOI, I rep draw L all day. How many fakes proclaim to be the reincarnation and claim to be the true head of the Moorish nation? No mention of Billy Ill, but I read his letters. Dirty Moors mad cause they thought they dead as letters. Many were there when decisions were handed down. Now they claim that Melil was not ordained, not commissioned, not called or appointed. With divine plans for ages, but Dirty Moors making changes. Working with FBI during infiltrations. In a pheasant alleys giving bogey smoke inhalations. And secret walls are made, heads are made in public mentions. Don't believe, get the minutes of the first convention. Kirkman and Lomax Bay got called out as villains against the Prophet's order and L. Called Givens. Thousands of Moorish Americans followed those leaders that killed the prophet and made Moors parrots not readers. They don't study, brains hollow. To crush the truth, plant dissension in the ones that follow. Robbed the treasury, felt like they hit the lotto. Took advantage of the faithful Moors in their times of sorrow. Moments still critical, 100 years later, the message. Stick to the principles in your actions, be progressive. Don't sell your soul for a title, take your membership role. Watch out for grand cheats pushing you in a censorship hole. The sellout was great, now they comfy and won't get the hell out. Active Moors come around, they get clumsy. Not humbly, but act grumpy and jumpy. Active Moors see them touchy and think it's lovely. With faces ugly, I push back so don't shove me. If not for love, it would be just as Dirty Moors get from me. Hitting all reincarnates and writs of discovery. And demanding the treasury recovery and love for money. Wearing affairs don't make you a Moorish addict. Dirty Moorish heads are Boy Scouts and cadets. Working for FBI inspectors, slaves for gadgets. Claiming they got pulled, but they really dead magnets. Running a fraud that's done cause new Moors are here. One for all for one profit like musketeers. Bay, not Tampa or Buccaneers. I strike nerves like harp or strings on those puppeteers. Pushing misconceptions as teachings and calling it facts. Swinging my scimitar, tongue not a fireman's axe. Quick to call me out as dirty, say I violate acts. If you don't nationalize, know that I annihilate blacks. Nailing through their palms and insects on beams of wood. Burn crosses on black lawns in my Moorish hood. Black Klansmen like movie from 1960. White power, not supremacy like Clinton Bixby. Now I run through illusions, battling my arch nemesis, misconfusion. She's been trying to keep me out of course, facing losses, calling all her negative forces. 99 years past, Drew Ali said 50 would pass, and he wouldn't know about me, or even know what I brought for you. NOI and UNIA knew about him too. Most thought that they could bury the movement, be in charge, passive and abuse it. But Drew said new more would come with eyes open, seeing and knowing, far from hoping. Far from belief in faith, master fruition. Study the laws of nature, activate intuition. One day our wheels of industry will stop, and when it starts again, Moors will be on top. Drew Ali blessed with latent power. Warned you, get out the way of the ground to powder. Drew Ali didn't kill you fast, but he brought you your title and estate vast. Confusion continues to confuse, no remembrance of Maghrib al-Aqsa by Moorish descendants. I run through illusions, battling my arch nemesis, misconfusion. She's been trying to keep me out of course, facing losses, calling all her negative forces. Invasion. Watch for democracies, hypocrisy, philosophies, fear and shock factories, pseudo-pop mockeries and poppy fields, blocking swinging chops without Moroccan shields, industry divine, throw version spoken soccer wheels, coffin fields empty, buried in the battlefield, working on the streets is walking in some cattle fields. King Alfred Bluesum, lover mental snoozing, sleepwalking and talking, cell phones are soothing, minds disappearing, genetic memory erasing, don't even have a job but they get you for tax evasion, hot like a frying pan, crying fam, lying men, use gadgets, firemen, no loyalty, just buying friends, no credit, debt slaves, walking over paved graves, enslaved, enraged, marriage to death prearranged, Mike Sufi Genie, farm tracks bikini, stupid niggas call my feds bucket hat when they see me, but won't ask a thing or drink the water that I bring. But when the Pope comes, they're kissing on the ring. They rather drink a rapper's flow from the black fountain. Pied Piper got the dead lined up in the thousands. Confusion with illusions, infusion with sorcery. Won't give up my birthright no matter what they offer me. No deal. Push the red button, I'm going home. Close my eyes, meet SNL and Vendome. The fire that we put on roll, make their wall shake. Islamism grand sheep, not spelled like shape. Open minds, not scattered when you enter my zone. I wouldn't call it murder when I snap the neck of my clone. Trying to escape with the Moorish temple charter. Peter's face the tartar, no making me a martyr. Third eye and larger, aura is my armor. When I plant a seed in my soil, rhyme farmer. Use the alma rap sorta like an almanac. Keep listening to sleepless hip-hop insomniac. Moorish MC, call me that acquiesce, don't call back, just call back. Any rapper after 95, all whack. Their flow just trickles like drops on icicles. Rappers need training wheels on their rhymesicles. Keep people's mind pickled in a lost realm. When it comes to Moorish MCs, I'm at the helm. Invasion. Trying to escape with the Moorish temple charter. Repeat his face the harder. No making me a martyr. Third eye and larger. Aura is my armor. Aura is my armor. Aura is my armor. Invasion. Trying to escape with the Moorish temple charter. Repeat his face the harder. No making me a martyr. Third eye and larger. Aura is my armor. Aura is my armor. Aura is my armor. Invasion.
Oh yeah, before I forget, forgot to put this out there. Zone 1 and 2. Zone 1 and 2 of the Acne face map. The Acne face map Zone 1 and 2. Upper and lower forehead. Most forehead pimples and acne on temples may be bacterial and may indicate that we are eating an unhealthy diet, not getting enough sleep, or have poor hygiene. Some pimple face maps show a correlation between the forehead and liver functioning. But because there is no scientific proof to actually connect this part to the T-zone, it has not been added to the face map. Our behaviors, specifically how people are prone to touching their T-zone, is shown in one study, are more likely to cause this acne. How can we prevent forehead acne? Drink plenty of water to detox our body, keep toxins and waste from building up. Reduce your soda, sugar, and high glycemic carbohydrate intake. Take a shower right after a workout. So you guys getting buff and stuff, but you're not showering, getting your pimples on your forehead. Wash hair, hats, bandanas, headbands, and any type of headgear. This special service announcement is brought to you by hardhittinghealth.org.